Well, first off, Brad and Ryan, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. It's an absolute pleasure to get you on to talk about your new single here in a few minutes called Good for You. But right now, we're going to talk about you for my audience here. So, you guys are an Alberta high octane country duo, and you guys are amazing. So, for my audience here, tell us a bit more about yourselves.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, thank you for having us. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah, we're high octane country. That is definitely us. We pride ourselves on a very high energy live show. Um, we actually switched from rock to country in 2020. Great timing, and we kind of hopped into the country scene. But we've always just been so passionate about the storytelling and in country music. We listened to a lot of 90s country growing up and a lot of like heartland rock, classic rock bands as well. So that kind of all fits into our high energy performances that, yeah, we tell stories, but we've got a lot of grit when we tell them. So.
Yeah, we like lifting people up, and we find it's a little bit easier to do that with a high energy live show, and just bringing that excitement and energy. So
That's pretty cool. So, with various genres that you're inspired by from the sounds of it, who are some of your musical inspirations?
Oh, yeah. Bob Seger, Bruce Springsteen. We listened to a lot of Meatloaf growing up, and the Eagles.
90s country was a big one for us too. We grew up working with dad a lot. He owned his own business, and we ride in the back seat of the work truck and listen to 90s country on the way there. Tim McGraw, Alan Jackson, stuff like that. And that's really been an influence for us over the years.
That's pretty cool. So moving from a more high energy rock band into this high octane country band, how did you find the transition, saying that you did listen to a lot of 90s country? They are a lot of your inspirations, but also with the rock being your inspirations. How did you shift your writing? How did you hone in on that skill? And how have you become this country duo that you are today?
Absolutely, yeah. We've all like when we were writing rock tunes, they were always very optimistic. So a lot of active rock, it kind of almost sounds like pretty aggressive and almost like a little bit of a negative tone. And that's not what we ever wrote. It was always very inspiring, like upbeat, optimistic stuff. So that translated very well into country. We just talked a little bit more about um, where we came from and
Yeah.
our roots and that kind of thing, and that kind of spun it into the country stuff.
Yeah, it was always funny, even when you play our old rock tunes, which we released on an EP in 2016. When you play those on an acoustic, they sound country, right? Like it's kind of funny. It's always been there, but yeah, we just started recording it a little bit more country, and that's where we found our home.
It sounds like it was fairly effortless, and that is pretty cool because you do make it sound so seamless, and that transition was so seamless. So you guys have a few songs out now as a country duo. You got Ride, you got Flat Broke Famous, you got Wild One, and now we got to talk about your latest release, Good for You. So from what I read, another artist by the name of Megan Dawson did help you out with this song, and it's about kind of our stubbornness when it comes to our exes a little bit. Maybe we're not the perfect fit, but we got to come to terms with it. So tell us a bit about this song.
Absolutely, yeah. It was great to have. We've written a lot with Megan over the last little bit here, and it's just a good atmosphere for writing. And so we wrote this one together, and it was great to have that perspective on the other side too. And yeah, it's just a tune. Yeah, the stubbornness definitely comes into play when you're kind of breaking up, and you realize that maybe you could try to change to like maybe win their win them back, I guess, but that's not staying true to who you are sometimes. So yeah, it's just this kind of stubbornness where it's just like, I am who I am. Maybe it wasn't the right fit. Yes, I do miss you, I understand that, but I'm not going to go change who I am to try to win you back.
And I think again too, it's kind of funny because it plays into that rock and roll attitude a little bit, still firmly planted in country, but we're just bringing it back, and just keeping it authentic. So.
I love it. And the song is so darn good. So last question here, where can everybody find out more about you and get all your songs?
Absolutely. Yeah. You can find us. You can hit our website, flaysher.ca, and that'll give you a bunch of information on us. And then we're wherever you listen, really. Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, YouTube.
Yeah, we recently got Fresh Finds Country on Good For You. So
yes, it's Fresh Finds Country Spotify playlist. It's an editorial playlist. So yeah, you can check that playlist out as well. But yeah.
That is so darn cool. Congrats on that, because I know how hard it is to get on some editorial playlists sometimes. So congrats on that. That is amazing. So thank you so much for joining me today, Flaysher. I really appreciate it.
Yes, and you can also check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Flaysher Music. Yeah. So
awesome. Lots of places. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.